Hey Embers, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another comparison video from me. So this video is going to be a little bit longer actually because we are comparing 4 things today. We are comparing the Wii, the PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 2 versions of Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. Now we will not be comparing gameplay, this is just the physical copies of the games. There has been some confusion with that. So we usually compare 2, but we are comparing 4 today, so this is going to be a little bit of a longer video. So let's start by looking at the front of all of them. This is the front of the Wii version. This is the front of the PlayStation 3. And then we have Xbox 360. And finally PlayStation 2. So putting them all together, there is virtually no difference on the front of any of these. Moving on to the spines, this is the side of the Wii version. It's a little bit dirty here, I've got quite a dirty copy. This is the side of the PlayStation 3. And then we have Xbox 360. And again, I've got quite a battered copy really. And finally PlayStation 2. So here is what they all look like together, and I do think I'm going to give it to the Xbox 360 for this one, just because I think the other 3 are a little bit too simplistic. I mean, they're all simplistic, aren't they? So it's quite interesting, because the Xbox 360 is a mix between the Wii and the PlayStation 3 cover there. Next up, let's look at the backs. So this is the back of the Wii version. So it says live and die by the sword. We have some screen grabs. My phone does not want to focus. It says the most dynamic sword play ever. Play as Captain Jack, Will and Elizabeth to unleash a variety of attacks. Go beyond the movie. Use your cunning and savvy against the most notorious villains of pirate lore. So that's the 3 screen grabs that they've used there. Then moving to the PlayStation 3. We will have a look a little bit later to see if there's any differences. Then we have Xbox 360. And finally, PlayStation 2. So here they all are together, and there are quite a few differences actually between the 4. So if you look on the left at the Wii and on the right on the PlayStation 2, they're pretty similar. And then the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 in the middle are also very similar. That makes sense really, considering what gen they all are. It's like I'm talking about Pokemon, innit? What gen? So yes, having looked again, these 2 are identical and these 2 are identical. So let's go and have a look at this. It says live and die by the sword again, but this time the write-up says use skill, style and wit to become the greatest pirate ever. Duel against the most notorious villains from pirate lore. Switch between characters to unleash devastating attacks. And there's the screen grabs for that one. Again, exactly the same over here. And then the screen grabs for the PlayStation 2 are exactly the same as the Wii. Interesting. So this is what you're greeted with when you open up the Wii version. I do have a manual, so hopefully there will be a manual comparison today. This is the PlayStation 3. Unfortunately, I have a rather garish sticker on the manual there. Moving on to the Xbox 360. And finally, the PlayStation 2. So this is what they all look like together. As you can see, the PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 2 all have very similar discs, pretty much identical. All of the manuals are identical as well. So I'm going to give it to the Wii here for originality on that disc. So finally we'll flip through the manuals, and I'm going to be doing this very, very quickly. So this is the Wii version. Again, I will not be able to point out every single difference because it would just take us far too long. So we're just going to flick through as quickly as possible. And we'll also keep track of the number of pages in each manual as well. And we do have a notes section. So that is the Wii manual, and it has a nice advert there for meeting Captain Jack Sparrow at Disneyland Paris. So the Wii manual has 28 pages. Moving on to the PlayStation 3 now. Again, unfortunately, we have that garish sticker. So again, I'm going to flick through this as quickly as possible. I can't see there being too many differences, to be honest. And again, we'd be here all day if we tried to check. Now, these darker pages, I don't believe were in the Wii version. And we do also have a handy-dandy notes section here. And again, the same advertisement on the back. Now, the PlayStation 3 booklet only had 19 pages, whereas the Wii version had 28. So quite a big difference there, actually. Moving on to the Xbox 360 manual, this is very battered actually, this is not a great manual. But again, we have a different design. So they did choose slightly different designs for each manual. And again, I'm not going to go too in depth here. No notes section on the Xbox 360, and again, that same advertisement on the back. So we're getting shorter with the write-ups because the Xbox 360 version only has 16 pages. Finally, we are moving on to the PlayStation 2 manual. So let's go through this again. And like I say, I'm sure most of the information is similar. So the Wii version definitely has the most pages, and I would assume that is because you can use the nunchuck in the game. So they are trying to show you how to use all of that as well. So that is the end of the PlayStation 2 one, and of course the same advertisement. And that booklet has 20 pages. So in terms of booklets, the Xbox 360 has the least amount of pages, then the PlayStation 3, then the PlayStation 2, and finally the Wii. Sort of makes sense. And with that, that is the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. In terms of gameplay, I would say I have played this game on all 4 of these platforms, I'm going to hazard a guess. But unfortunately, it's been so long, I just can't remember which version is the best. I don't even know if there's any differences between the 4 versions. So you'll have to let me know if you know. I do recall playing the Wii version a little bit more, but I honestly cannot remember. On a side note, you can get At World's End on the PlayStation 5. If you have Premium, I believe it's on there, or Plus, whichever one. It is one of those cloud streaming games, so you can play it on there if you would like to. I don't know about Xbox One, unfortunately, or the newer Xboxes, I suppose. I just know you can get it on the PlayStation 5. So thank you very much for watching, and until next time, bye Embers.